Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. Some guy just passed me on the trail frantically saying, "There's a snake on the trail, don't go that way." So instead of walking the opposite direction, I'm going to go try to find it. Snakes are incredible. Those of you guys who have been watching my channel for a long time, those of you who have watched my lengthier videos on Kundalini know why I hold the serpent, as highly as I do, or hold it up. I venerate it. The snake is not only a valid symbol of so many different things. It's a perfect, not only a symbol of death and rebirth, but it's a perfect occult symbol. It represents wisdom, but it also, ladies and gentlemen, represents the Kundalini, the DNA. And on top of that, snakes, regardless of what people may think, they can actually perform Shaktipat. So I'm not gonna get into that in this video, but Shaktipat is a very profound thing. And the fact that a creature like a snake can do that continues to blow my mind. I experienced Shaktipat from a serpent in my early 20s. So I have a little bit more of a closer, interest in snakes than the average person who thinks they're just, gross, or that they're evil. Ridiculous. So I don't see it. And I think he said that it was somewhere around here. So that's kind of a bummer. That's a huge bummer, actually. So let's take one look around and we'll continue. So the serpent represents healing. It represents gnosis, or enlightenment. It represents death and rebirth, ladies and gentlemen. Every time the snake sheds its skin, it's born anew. It's kind of you can look at it metaphorically for death and rebirth, but you can also look at it as a symbol of shedding your skin and constantly renewing yourself, constant regeneration, the recycling of the old for the new. So snakes literally crawl out of their own skin. And I don't know if you guys have ever owned a snake or witnessed the shedding process, but when snakes shed, right before they start shedding, they look kind of ill. Their eyes will get really cloudy sometimes. Their skin will look really pale. And when they shed, they crawl out of that old shedding and they look brand new. Their skin looks shiny again. They look healthy. Their eyes aren't cloudy anymore. So in many ways, shapes, and forms, it's kind of a symbol of regeneration, is it not? So anyways, it looks like this snake is nowhere to be seen. I'm hoping that it's up here around this corner, because if not, I'm gonna head home. I've already been walking for over an hour. So let's pray that our buddy the snake is right over here somewhere. Just want to make sure I don't step on it. Well, that's a big bummer. Big bummer. So I've owned pythons in the past. I've owned boa constrictors. And these snakes, they have a very, very special ability to do a handful of things that I'm not going to get into in this video. You see, it sounds crazy for the average person to hear that a snake, for instance, like a python, can hypnotize you, but they can't. You see, you've been conditioned to think that you're like the apex predator human and you're at the top of the food chain. You're not even aware that certain insects can hypnotize you and mind control your monkey ass. You see, you're disconnected from the shamanic reality that you live in. You're completely disconnected. So you think that only you, and only the human being can, do things that are considered incredible. Well, the shamans have known for a very long time that the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom can communicate with itself, and that human beings can actually enter states of consciousness where they can communicate with animals. So Yeah, it's known in Haiti and certain parts of the world, ladies and gentlemen, that boas, python, snakes can hypnotize you. So, there's parts of the world, including but not limited to India, where they know that snakes can perform Shaktipat. Why do you think the king cobra, also known as, I believe, Ophiophagus hana, is considered so sacred? Look at this. That's cool. It's because somewhere along the line, people knew that these animals were magical, and the symbolism of it has been passed down. Most cultures nowadays don't remember or don't know that the true meaning of these symbols, though, or why snakes are sacred. It's because they can ignite your Kundalini. And many other reasons or purposes, or reasons, excuse me. I've been walking for a long time. I've made like 2 hours of footage today. My mouth's starting to not keep up with my mind. But, you know, I believe ayahuasca I believe ayahuasca, and this is, I just want to dovetail this in before I wrap things up. There's a bug right there. I believe ayahuasca is a mixture of Mimosa hostilis or Acacia confusa, some type of bark that contains DMT. And in order to make the Mimosa hostilis or the DMT orally active, they have to mix it with a particular herb, and I believe it's referred to or called Banisteriopsis capsis or Banisteriopsis capi. I can't remember the exact name. I wish I did. But somehow, some way, the shamans in the jungle, out of all the thousands upon thousands of plant species, figured out that to take Banisteriopsis capi, I'm probably butchering that name, by mixing that with the Mimosa hostilis or whatever DMT containing root bark they were using, they could actually make a non-orally active DMT orally active. So now when you consume ayahuasca, the orally active DMT breaks down in your system and the experience lasts for hours. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure when asked how they figured out, how the hell did you know to combine these two? The shamans referred to or replied by saying, the plants told us. It's a long known fucking fact that shamans communicate with plants, communicate with animals. That's what they do, folks. So all of you idiots who have bought into this idea that animals are stupid or that reptiles don't have the ability to communicate, like all of this stuff, you've been led, you're in the Matrix. You see, the Matrix takes you out of this world, which you're supposed to be in communication with, and it puts you in that world, the concrete world, with the fucking trains and all the bullshit. Peace be with you.